In this video, we will continue practicing solving oblique triangles, meaning non-right triangles, using the law of cosines. We will need the law of cosines when we are given the following sets of information. Side, side, side will require the law of cosines, or if we are given side, angle, side, that's going to require the law of cosines. Now, the law of cosines comes in these convenient flavors. It should remind you of the Pythagorean theorem. C squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. All right, that part is what you would have if this were a right triangle. But since this is not going to be a right triangle, we have to make this modification, minus 2ab cosine c. Notice that this angle c is the angle that is opposite side C. And then because there's nothing special about side C, there's no hypotenuse, it's not a right triangle, so it doesn't matter which side you start with. So if I need to solve for side B, for example, then I would start with b squared, and that will leave a squared and c squared, and minus 2ac. But in the cosine, the angle is going to match the side that you started with. And of course, you could do the same thing starting with side A and ending with cosine of angle A. Alright, law of cosines. Alright, let's just do these two examples, and that'll be our video. Okay, now, at a glance, it's not always obvious whether or not you are looking at side-side angle, the infamous side-side angle, the ambiguous case when we would use the law of sines, or is it going to be side, angle, side? Both of these involve two sides and an angle, so sometimes you're not going to be sure. So what you might do is start off the same way no matter what. So as soon as you see that we have two sides and an angle, I would recommend starting your picture off like this. Alright, put a horizontal side at the bottom, put a side on the left, okay, like this. That's forming an angle. So put your one angle here. So I've got my 49. This is angle C, so I'm going to go ahead and label that angle C. Now, since this is angle C, that makes this side C over here. Now, if this were the ambiguous case, I would make this a dotted line like this, because this would be the swing side, and yeah, I don't know, would it make a triangle at all? But wait a minute. If this was going to be the ambiguous case, side-side angle, they always would give us the side that is opposite the angle. So here I have angle C, but they did not give us side C. They did not give us the swing side. Instead, they gave us these other two sides. So it doesn't matter where you put these, but they have to be these two sides. So for example, let's say if I put the 6 here, that would make this angle A over here. And if I put the 7 down here, that would make this angle B up here. So now you see that we have side angle side, not side side angle. Alright, so this is side angle side, which is why we're going to use the law of cosines, not the law of sines. And there is no ambiguous case for the law of cosines, so we don't have to worry about whether or not it forms a triangle or whether or not there are two triangles. We just draw it and do it. Okay, so what are the three pieces of information we need to find? Let's set up our solution box. We're going to need to find the measure of angle A. Okay, we're going to need to find the measure of angle B. And we're going to need to find side C. Since we are given angle C, we need to start off using the version of the law of cosines that involves angle C. So for that reason, we're going to start off with this version. C squared is equal to a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine of angle C. So there's the angle C that we're given right there. So let's go ahead and fill in all the information that we have. We don't have side C, so we're going to have C squared is equal to, so we've got the 6 and the 7, so we're going to have 6 squared plus 7 squared minus 2 times 6 times 7, cosine of angle C, so cosine of 49. To get C by itself, we're going to, of course, need to take the square root of both sides, so we're just going to take the square root of all of this. So just go ahead and put this entire expression in your calculator all at once, and that'll give you side C. I got 5.467. As always, carry 3 decimal places, please. Now we can go ahead and start finding the angles. Might as well go ahead and find the measure of angle A. Alright, so since I am looking for the measure of angle A, then I'm going to need the version of the law of cosines that involves angle A. So that's why I'm going to start off with a squared. So a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cosine of angle A. So let's see. So we have A, B, and C now. So that's going to be 6 squared is equal to 7 squared plus 5.467 squared minus 2 times 7 times 5.467 cosine of angle A. So the only variable here is angle A, so I should be able to do this. So I need to subtract these two terms and then divide by this part of the expression. So first I'm going to subtract these two terms, so that's going to give me 6 squared minus 7 squared minus 5.467 squared. Alright, subtracted these two. Now I need to divide by this portion. So I'm going to divide by negative 2 times 7 times 5.467. Okay, so by doing that, that gets cosine A by itself. Whoops. Alright, that gets cosine A by itself. Of course, I want angle A. So if I want angle A, I need to do the inverse cosine of all of this. So I'm going to wind up doing the inverse cosine of this entire expression, and then that is going to give me the measure of angle A. Okay, so just put this entire expression in your calculator all at once. Do not make any additional decimals along the way. And I am getting 55.920 degrees. It was 9199, so I had to round up to 920. Okay, so that just leaves angle B. Now I could use the law of cosines again to find angle B, but if I'm pretty confident about the answer I just found, I can subtract these two angles from 180 to find angle B. So that turns out to be 75 0.080 degrees. So that's it. We have solved the triangle for number 3. Alright, let's do one more problem. So in this case, it is obvious that we have a side set of information. So right away we know that this is going to be the law of cosines. So it really doesn't matter how you draw your triangle when you have side. So I'm just going to do A, B, C like this. Alright, the order does not matter. But if this is angle A, then side A is here. And if this is angle B, side B must be across from it. And if this is angle C, then side C must be right here. Okay, so the 3 pieces of information I'm going to need are the 3 angles. So I need to find the measure of angle A, I need to find the measure of angle B, and I need to find the measure of angle C. Alright, when I find these 3 pieces of information, I have solved the triangle. So, if I want to find the measure of angle A, I need to use the version of the law of cosines that involves angle A. So that's why I'm going to start off with A squared. A squared is equal to B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine of angle A. Alright, there's the angle A I'm going to need. So I have all of these sides. So let's see, so that was 7. So I have 7 squared is equal to 10 squared plus 15 squared. Alright, minus 2 times 10 times 15 cosine of angle A. So I need to subtract these 2 terms and then divide by this part that's in the front. So if I do that, I'm going to have, there's my 7 squared, now I'm subtracting these 2, so that's going to be minus 10 squared minus 15 squared. Now I'm going to divide by this part in the front, so I'm going to do divided by negative 2 times 10 times 15. Alright, so that is going to give me the cosine of A. But of course I don't want the cosine of A, I want actual angle A. So if I want that, I'm going to need to do the inverse cosine of this. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the inverse cosine of this entire expression, and that should give me the measure of angle A. So put this whole thing in your calculator all at once and tell me the measure of angle A. 3 decimal places, please. I am getting 23.074 degrees. So I'm just going to do the exact same thing to find the measure of angle B. But so this time, since I need to find angle B, I'm going to use the version of the law of cosines that starts with B. So B squared is equal to A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cosine angle B. So that's 10 squared is equal to 7 squared plus 15 squared minus 2 times 7 times 15 cosine of angle B. So to get cosine of B by itself, I need to subtract these 2 terms and divide by this part. So starting with my 10 squared, now I'm going to subtract these 2 terms. And then I'm going to divide by this portion. So this will be divided by negative 2 times 7 times 15. Okay, so that will give me the cosine of angle B. So of course I don't want the cosine of angle B, I want angle B. So in order to find angle B itself, I need to do the inverse cosine of all of this. So I'm going to do the inverse cosine of this entire expression, and when I do, that's going to give me the measure of angle B. So go ahead and put this entire expression in your calculator all at once and find the measure of angle B. So I am getting 34.048 degrees. So of course I could do the law of cosines again to find the measure of angle C, but if I feel very confident about the two angles that I just found, I could subtract both of these from 180 to find angle C. So I am getting 122.878 degrees. And that's it. We have solved the triangle. And that's going to do it for this video. I hope it was helpful. I will see you on the next video.